Alright, hold on. Huh. Okay. I'm going to start with a few things. You may have clicked on this for the title. You may have clicked on this by notification that this was on my channel. You may have clicked on this because you're politically charged. I want to start with something that is completely irrelevant so that I can go ahead and get it out of the way. Yes, my hair looks like Johnny Test. Yes, my hair looks like Goku. Yes, my hair is looks like I've touched an electrical cord that was live. Yeah, I wear my hair up off my head. It's physically cooler that way. Not style cooler, just physically cooler. Now, if we can be adults to have an adult conversation here. I want to mention the drag show in Texas. I'll wait for everyone to stop shouting their opinion that's immediately in their mind. There was a drag show in Texas. Family friendly at a bar. Now, there's a couple of things wrong here. Just pause the video till you're done rambling about how it's just fine and there's nothing wrong with that. I'll wait. Okay, so there are things wrong with that. And let's go down the list from most obvious to least obvious. It's a pub, so it's a bar, so it's an alcoholic establishment where people specifically tend to go to drink. It's not like Applebee's where they just so happen to offer you a drink. It is centered around alcohol. That is the point of a pub. That is the point of a bar. You don't go to a bar for the french fries. You just don't. That's not how this works. Applebee's is not a bar. Applebee's is Applebee's. Waffle House is not a bar. That's where you go after you've been drunk and you need to sober up. Those poor people that work at Waffle House. God help them. Um, Now, so children should really not be in a place where all they're going to visually learn most of the time is consume alcohol for fun. That's what they're learning there. That's wrong. That's a life choice. There's tons of life choices. You can make the life choice to kill someone. Does not make it something that's okay for a child to see. When a child sees a murder, they have to receive therapy, and people are worried about the child, and people are concerned. So, this life choice does not necessarily need to involve children because it does already require you to be 21 to drink. Someone somewhere seems to think that it's not a children's activity. So, children should not be in a bar, not in a pub, not in a alcohol-based establishment. That is the first thing that is wrong with that drag show. I don't care how you want to look at it. That is the first thing that is wrong here. To host a family friendly, child friendly drag show at an alcoholic funded based establishment is the number one problem. They decided to do this in a place that is not suitable for children. Now, I'm sure somebody has an opinion. Somehow it's okay. I'm sure you're going to anyway, so feel free to write how it's okay. in the comments. And when I do get to reading comments in a couple of weeks, when I sit back and go, all right, let me check my comments, I'll be sure to read it. I don't mind understanding people, but I'm already understanding that it's an alcoholic establishment. It's not McDonald's. It's not Toys R Us. It's not Children's Hospital. It's genuinely, quite bluntly, an alcoholic establishment. Now that could go into a rant of me genuinely just saying alcoholic establishment over and over and over. And I don't want to do that, and y'all don't want me to do that. So let me change gears real quick and get into number 2, because number 2 is equally as important. If I, as a Republican, start walking around a family friendly location with a gun half the size that the Antifa people had on their backs, I would be asked to leave because I'm scaring away the customers. Call me bullshit. Call me a liar. I was asked to leave Walmart with 4 police officers. Goldsboro, Walmart, North Carolina, off Best Drive. Yes, indeedy. 6-shooter, getting some work done, have it at a gunsmith. It doesn't matter what's wrong with it. Point is, it's not being open carried. I can't conceal carry right now. I don't have a conceal carry that's active. So, I open carried my Kel-Tec Sub 2000 9mm that accepts Glock magazines. It folds up. You have to know how to unlock it to unlock it. It's locked in the closed form, and it cannot put a bolt behind the bullet. It cannot load the bullet. It cannot charge the bullet. It cannot fire a bullet in its closed position. However, that gun, half the size of what these Antifa people had all around this bar, was enough to scare off all of those poor defenseless Democrats. And thus, they wanted me to leave. I had already had my bag in my hand, headed home. And I was, and I did. I headed home. However, I don't I don't know what happened to the bag that I purchased. I purchased $30 worth of stuff that's just gone. Can't for the life of me remember what happened to it. Been looking for it today, but it doesn't matter. I was done with my purchases. I was out the door. I was on the sidewalk walking to the aisle of cars that mine would be on. And a police officer hollered out to me to get my attention because he wanted the lady to be able to speak with me. And she said, "You can't do that here." And I said, "Do what?" And she said, "You can't carry that. You're scaring people. They're terrified." And I said, "Well, I can. It's for my protection." I said, I've not necessarily gotten drug lords after me, but I can shoot this a lot better than I can this or this or this. And because it's bigger, it's nicer, it's got a longer barrel, I can be far more accurate and I won't hurt anyone innocent. Which means everyone's safer when I carry the Kel-Tec than when I carry a handgun. The lady said, "It doesn't matter. Public opinion is that guns are scary and it's a big one. So it's only okay. It's only okay when there's a drag show at an alcoholic event for people to have guns." So point number 2 is that those guns in my opinion, was a bit unfair. I have my right, and as a Republican, I was told to leave the premises. They have them at an alcoholic event. Now, let me break this down because number two has several parts. The first part is legally, you cannot cover your face and carry a gun. That is federal law. All of them are in complete infraction of code and article that says you cannot cover your face and carry a gun. That is a law that I used here in North Carolina to not have to wear a mask while carrying a gun. I said, I have a right to carry a gun. I'm carrying my gun. And as part of that right to carry a gun, and I'm carrying a gun, I cannot wear a mask. Federal law. I did not have to wear a mask the places that I went because I was choosing to carry a gun and could not, by law, do both. How come they can? Every one of them are in violation of that. And let me pull it up for you. I can pull up that federal law to prevent being called a liar, a stiff, a hater, to be told, oh, I'm putting down the LGBTQ, the Antifa, they're just a thought. They're just a mindset with all of their heavy wartime equipment and facial masks so they can't be seen. Those thugs. Let's see. Federal law about masking face while carrying gun. Let's see what comes up. I have a really big setup here that does internet, and I trust the internet to show me things sometimes. And I have enough guns that I should be aware of laws. Okay, it's changed recently. Concealed carry. There is no federal law prohibiting carrying of firearms while masked. There are many state laws restrict one's conduct while wearing a mask, including the carrying of a firearm. Okay, so that has changed due to federal masking laws the last 99 months. Okay. Yeah, that was changed at some point. They've pushed that through. Okay. And some mask laws were first introduced. Okay, well, it's recently changed. It is recently changed. Let's see, Georgia, Virginia, Minnesota, and other notices. You'll notice that none of them mention legally carrying a gun while masked. Okay, concealed weapon while wearing mask. Concealed weapon. All of these seem to be about concealed. Well, we're discussing open carry. So let me type in open carrying. New federal laws about open carrying while wearing a gun. Okay, Supreme Court ruling the Times Square is one of scores of sensitive places, including parks, churches, theaters, that will be off limits to guns under new state law. That is not about masks. That is concealed carry still. Does wearing a mask interfere with lawfully carrying a firearm. There we go. Let's click on this one. Okay. Right now, rather than lockdowns, authorities are focusing on people wearing masks and maintaining social distances. However, some places frown on people carrying guns and wearing masks at the same time as a general rule. They even have laws against it. Yes, it is really an issue. COVID 19 being around is really going to land you in hot water. Kansas City, other state and local governments are bringing up old federal laws, gun laws that can vary from state to state, and federal laws were written with no one planning a global pandemic. Well, okay. It, they're discussing how it's a problem because of COVID, but it's discussing though the actual fact that the laws are there, and these people are choosing to wear complete face concealment, which is illegal. The biggest problem is if you're a felon and shouldn't be allowed to have a gun, if you're in public doing all of this, that is the same thing that they were trying to get Batman for in the movies and TV shows. Is his anti is it law about showing face Batman. That's just the best way I can put it to bring it up. There's a term for this. Um, I know there's a word for this, and I probably should have looked this up as part of my statement, but I'm trying to be real here. Vigilante. Okay, the act of hiding your entire face while in public is considered vigilante, and that means to anti-visual. You cannot be identified. And when carrying a gun, it makes it very difficult for passing police officers to verify that you are someone who is allowed or not allowed to carry a gun, as well as someone who may be wanted for 2, 3, or multiple crimes or federal crimes. It is a law that it is a law by federal order that people that open carry maintain some portion of their face visual so that vigilantism is not a thing that you are committing. Also, you're not hiding your face and trying to be in public while being wanted by the police. It is simply that makes things harder to do. This law was repealed during COVID 19. Okay, well, I had to deal with it. I guess number two is broken apart. But then, so I went over how I had to get rid of, myself from the property of Walmart in Goldsboro. And I've just attempted to go over the federal law about the guns with the masks. And so that fell apart right here on the video. However, that does not change a number of things. If these people do shoot somebody and then they run, we don't know who they are. They're getting off scot-free. It's still vigilantism. And that's still wrong. That's still wrong. But if we ignore that, because the left has always been above the law, the third thing is I was removed from public places because I had a gun in a public place. Well, I wasn't removed. I left willingly. I was already done and everything. However, they have firearms near alcohol. I don't know if they're drinking it. I don't know if they choose to drink it. I don't know if they're exposed, like it's right here in their face or not. But when you have a single drop of alcohol, You are not supposed to have access to a firearm. These people have them slung on their back, and the argument that was made against me was, what happens if someone gets your gun? Huh? What happens if someone was to grab that and they can harm somebody? The magazine was in my pocket. It's locked in a closed position. It folds in half. Their gun? Grab it, sling it, point and shoot. Big difference. So they're allowing access to a firearm to people who are drinking, even if they're not drinking. Which is going to be a big problem for any of you left or rightists that go to a club or a bar and have your gun in your pocketbook, in your pocket, on your hip, under your shirt, and you're drinking. Every one of you are committing a crime. Yes! I know, because I've checked that one. That one's a law too. I'm not even going to bother Googling that one. That one has been a law for the longest time. Alcohol, tobacco, firearm people have decided that. And since they get to tell me what kind of silencer I can have, I'm going to assume that they're right on this one too. Woo for the ATF. That should not have taken place. They should not have been there with a face mask. They should not have been there in massive numbers. They should not have been wielding such a big gun. They should not have been doing it near alcohol. Now, that's personal opinion / federal law about alcohol. But that was number 2. I said that one was a messy one. That's the messy one. I apologize for wasting time Googling something that has prior since been changed. Now, number 3, the one that starts to get into the children being exposed thing. You ever sent somebody some alcohol? You didn't know how old they were. You just said, send that pretty girl over there a drink. I don't know how many people have. I've been to a bar maybe twice. I was someone else's designated driver. I don't partake of it. I have had friends who go to bars that were underage get sent alcohol because they were there underage. And someone thought they were pretty and wanted to send them alcohol. But, dude, wouldn't they have a band on, something that says they're under 21? You know how easy it is to cut off a band? Like, for real? So, full story, one full story example. Girl gets in. She's there to drink, by the way. We were all high school rapscallions. She takes a pair of scissors, tiny pair she has in her beauty kit, cuts the band off her wrist, puts the band inside of her pocketbook. She's dancing around a little bit, then sits down at a little place, just a little side table, with one of her female friends, and they want alcohol. They know they're broke, by the way. They go looking over and tease a guy or two. A couple of them get the hint, and bam, they've got 6 alcoholic drinks on their table. They don't have a band on, you know. Some guy has just committed the felony of sending alcohol to a minor. So, a big portion of not having these kids in an alcoholic place is because people can and will send them alcohol, either by ignorance or indifference. Now, I'm sure a lot of it was indifference. They don't care if you're 30 or 20. I want the pussy. They get them fucking drunk and take them fucking home. That's rape, by the way. Secondarily, the entire thing, it does wrap up. I know someone's going to say, well, then how did she get her license back when she left? She went out the door, handed them the thing. She pretended to cut it off as she's walking through the door and hand it to them to get her license. And they leave. Wow. The things kids do, huh? Now, number 4, because we're moving on from kids being exposed to alcohol and all of that with the guns. They say it was family friendly. They say that it was non-sexual. But this man dressed as a woman, or this woman that has a man's body that identifies as a woman, not sure what they're going for here, gets up on the table in a mini skirt right here in front of a 8-year-old girl. He is up here, feet up here, skirt up here, child's head here. You couldn't have done much more damage if you'd planted your testicles on her face. No! Family friendly, nothing sexual bullshit. She wasn't wearing shorts under the skirt. Shit was wearing pink panties under the skirt. I know this because I could see it from the footage. They do that little dance thing and jumps off the side of the table, skirt going straight up. You could see the waistline of the panties. 2 feet from the child. 2 feet from the child. You could have sat on the child's face and not gave them a better view of that underwear. What? Dude. It's just underwear. You're right. You're right. I'm assuming it's covering everything, right? I'm assuming it's covering everything. That makes it okay. So if I walk in public right now in just a pair of tidy whities, am I decent? I don't think so. Pretty sure I'm going to be asked to leave. Pretty sure. I'm willing to bet that. Someone put up $3,000 to buy me a really, really nice gun. I want one in gold, by the way. I'll do it and get the indecency exposure charge to prove the point that just because it covers it does not make it decent. If I put on a pair of tidy whities and I march my ass through Kinley and people see my ball sack inside my tidy whities, indecent exposure. Guarantee you. Now, anybody that's a police officer want to chime in and tell me what exactly would happen? Go ahead, comment in the comments. But for all you women out there that think, oh, men are disgusting, ew, men are nasty, men are monsters, they're always doing dick pics, they're always, sending pictures of their penis, it's always balls and dicks with them. Well, this was a dude. It had a dick and balls. How come he's allowed to do that? Well, the fuck? I want the rights of being able to walk around in a pair of pants with no shirt. I do that around my house. It's my house. I do that in my house. It's my house. I do that at the beach. It's the beach. But if I do that at Applebee's, I'm going to be asked to leave. If I do that at McDonald's, I'm going to be asked to leave. If I do that at Dunham's, I'm going to be asked to leave. Even though my tits aren't offensive. The dude had on a pair of pink underwear. Pink panties. Completely exposed. With what I'm assuming is a full-grown man's package. Within a foot of a child. That is indecent exposure, indecent liberties with a minor, and that is harmful to the child's psyche. Tell me it isn't. For all of you women who decided that seeing a dude half naked on the internet was unpleasant. All of you women have said that you've received a message in the mail, a text message, a Facebook message, an Instagram message with some dude and his package is there and it's disgusting and it scarred you. Tell me that that isn't disgusting and scarring for an 8-year-old girl to see jumping off of a picnic table. It can't work both ways. It can't be that horrible on Facebook, but perfectly okay for this 8-year-old girl. Who, by the way, if she's the same one in the other clip played on Louder with Crowder, the girl didn't even want to go in the store. She looked scared. She backed up and her mom pushed her. She cuddled her and then pushed her in. She didn't want to go in. Couldn't have been that family friendly. Kids were terrified. Kids didn't want to go in. Kids didn't want any part of this. Kids did not enjoy it. And they had junk in their face. That's not family friendly. It's not. Nope. Nope. Nada. Not family friendly. Okay. Point 5. Because yes, I have more that's wrong with this. They had protesting. They had protesting by what supposedly Republicans. And even Louder with Crowder did a terrible job with this. They seem to all be about the child thing. But they kept saying, keep this crap away from the children. And then the liberals that were doing this stuff kept saying, well, this isn't about the children. If it's not about the children, why did you involve children? Why did you go out of your way in an alcohol environment, in a sexually charged situation, to make sure children not only were invited but showed up? Why did parents force their child to go inside this establishment? If this was not about children, why? Why? Knowing that that's the big issue, did Antifa have to show up with guns? If it's just another drag show, if it's just another nightclub scene, if it's just another we're doing this behind closed doors, why would they have needed the guns? There's a place in Raleigh, North Carolina called Legends. I have the unintentional experience of being someone's designated driver. And I've been there. If we can get the laughing out of the way, please. I did not choose to go there. I did not know what this place was. I showed up to be the designated driver. That's what I was. I was a designated driver. Nothing more. Nothing more. I don't want to hear it. I try to be a good person. But Legends in Raleigh, North Carolina has a drag show of sorts. And they sort of kind of almost strip. They do lose articles of their outfit at times. It's the one show that I saw, regrettably. And I saw enough of it that for about 15 minutes I hid in the bathroom, and then I discovered that being in a bathroom at a gay bar was actually a far worse idea than sitting and watching a bunch of guys in dresses. So I came back out. Because men are in fact predators. Men are predators. You women have been saying that for years. You leftists have been saying that for years. Toxic masculinity. I felt scared in those bathrooms. And I was underage of having a gun. So I did not feel that I had the right to participate in any aggressiveness back at them. I simply went back to watching what was left of the show. The show was indecent. There were bulges. There was tits. It was indecent. And there were still no kids. Wait. No kids, no guns! Oh! There was no need to have sentinels outside! Why not? Because they weren't making it a spectacle and dragging the children in there. That's the entire point, was the children. Now, I'm not going to say that anyone that was there is literally saying, we have to take these kids, push them in here, and turn them gay. I don't believe that's what's happening. I believe every single person that went truly believes that their children should be able to know things. But again, if little Susie Q can't decide what she wants for dinner, if little Susie Q can't decide what her favorite TV show is, if little Susie Q can't decide what her favorite color is, if little Susie Q can't decide who she wants to play Legos with, should she be deciding anything that discusses surgery? Should she be discussing having surgery? Elective surgery? Should she be doing these things? No. No. And again, I think I've said this in another video. If your kid goes to geometry class and they're not learning geometry because they're too busy learning about a dude's PP and a woman's PP and how yours needs to be turned inside out because you're not a boy. When are they learning geography? If they're learning this in math class, when are they learning math? If they're learning this in English class, when are they learning English? These people are going out of their way to teach things to children that are not yet able to comprehend these things. Full-grown adults can't comprehend this. Why would children? I feel like I rest my case. I feel like some people are agreeing with me. I feel like some people hate my guts right now. And you know what? Hate me. Hate me for being right. Hate me for being beautiful. Seriously, all honesty, the problem we're having here is the children. The problem with the children was the alcohol, the sexual content, the gun people. The gun people were there because of the children. This is all about the children on both sides. Both sides. Having the gay parades, they don't block up any walls and put up fences that you can't see through, so just people that choose to attend see it. They're posting it on every TV show, every advertisement, every single platform is just spurted with this stuff. And here's the thing. Yeah, sex is nasty. Sex is for adults. It is going to light y'all on fire, but this is about procreation. Sex's intent is for children to be born. Whether or not children can be born has nothing to do with the intent of sex. That is what it's for in every other circumstance, with every other animal on the planet being non-religious here. If we are animals, it is an animal urge to recreate and reproduce that spurs sex. So, the act of fucking another man in the ass is a purely physical, disgusting, sexual act that is... What's the best way to put this? It's a selfish flesh act that is adult. Now, reproduction gets taught, and you can teach ways of getting rid of your urges without reproducing. That's fine. But you're specifically saying, go out and do this because it's great to children. You're telling children, run out, fuck without getting pregnant because it's fun. Even if you can justify that with the they don't get pregnant part, what happens when they go, well, now I want to try this. Now I want to try that. Now I want to try that. Now they're pregnant. Or now they're on heroin. You can't. These adult themes are for adults. I don't care how much it offends people. I don't care how badly it saddens you that you don't know if that 4-year-old wants to be something else. It's not your business. Leave it to the parents. It's not your business if that child is transgender. It's your business as a teacher to teach geography. It's not my business how you teach geography. But we pay you money to teach geography. Why is this a discussion? So, the teachers that were interviewed, teachers interviewed with Louder with Crowder during the footage of this Texas drag show, said, "This is amazing stuff. It's very important. I want my children to know." She's admitting on camera that she goes out of her way to tell this stuff to her kids at school. When people say it's not about the kids, it was for her. It was for her. It was for her. I don't know how much I have to shout. So, I had a relationship that never went off the ground. The girl had a kid with special needs. And she was in a relationship with a guy and a girl. And she went over to their house every other weekend and stayed all weekend. But they split up. And I said, well, why don't you come over to my house? I'll buy food. I'll cover, clothing, lights, whatever you're going to need for the weekend. I'll cover all of it. Diapers and all. Now, I'm going to be vague for number of reasons, but I've lived on my own a lot before I had children. I've lived on my own a lot since I've had children, and well, could have been in any of these points in time. Does not even matter. To protect her identity and all, but the girl said, "No, I can't do that. My son has special needs, and he freaks out when we go somewhere or if the schedule changes." I said, well, your schedule just changed because every 2 weeks you used to go to their house. It didn't matter. It's about the child. It's about the child. It's about the child. It's about the child. Well, you could go over there to their house and fuck a man and a woman. But you can't come over to my house and eat dinner. You're still leaving a place and upsetting him. The only difference is you're going there, not here. Okay? So, we're talking about children in a sexual environment. We're discussing tick for tack. You're telling me it's not about the children, but it's all about the children. See, logic works in a very amazing way, especially with ladder logic, computers, programming, and I have that experience, so I understand either it works or it doesn't work. Now, in robotics, you may find that if you are one single thing off, the robot spazzes out of control and flails and spits acid. You get one little thing wrong and everything derails. So, you have to be very specific with what you mean. And when these people say it's not about the children, they're going to have to explain to me what they mean, because it looks a lot like. It's specifically about the children. And it's amazing to me how they don't see that. That's the problem I'm having with the pub having the drag show in Texas. That's five. That's five big things that was wrong with that drag show in Texas. To my knowledge, and I have not checked. I have no interest in checking. I don't want to have to get mad. But Legends in Raleigh, I've never heard of them bringing children. And that is okay. It's okay. I'm not going back. It's okay. I don't like whatever that is. Anywho, if I may say so, I want to apologize for having to do this on my channel. I know there are people who would say, host multiple channels and one be political, one be for video gaming, and one be for tool reviews, and one be for guns. And I don't do that. It's all on one channel. Either you like some of my content or you like none of my content. That's fine. No one's going to like everything. No one wants to hear politics 24/7. But this needed to be stated. They were in the wrong. This is why. It's not that they were being targeted by Republicans. There wasn't even that many people there that were Republicans that were protesting. But there was as many Antifa people dressed from toe to hair in all black, wearing military grade stuff, trying to look intimidating at a public event. And I'm willing to bet that if they tried that at a fair, they'd be let in. But the minute that I walk in with an outfit that doesn't have the LGBTQ flag on it, I would be asked to leave, just like I was in Walmart. And you know what? I'm willing to bet that that is the only difference. Antifa being Antifa. They're allowed to get away with so many things because if they get asked or questioned, they'll say, "Oh, well, you're racist. You're a bigot. You're a hateful Republican." They pulled people away from interviews because they said it's best not to talk to them. They're Republican. They were telling people not to talk. They were interrupting freedom of speech and discussion in this community in Texas. And getting away with it because they wanted to. I don't understand, and I don't respect that. I do not respect Antifa's platform. I do believe Black Lives Matter the same way that I believe that all lives matter. And I believe when someone gets shot by the police, it sucks. But I'm not going to make my channel all about that. I'm going to make my channel about tools and reviews. And then this is the stuff that's on the side. And I want to apologize that people are getting hit with this stuff. But I feel like if you worry about tools in your day-to-day job, you're probably one of the people that works for a living. I'm not going to say you're a Trump fan. I'm not going to say you're a Republican. But you probably understand that just because someone says something doesn't mean that's how the world works. So when someone says, "I'm a woman," that doesn't mean their penis is any less intimidating. Someone says, "I think all lives matters," doesn't make them any more racist than someone that specifically says hire them because they're black. You probably have a good sense of understanding and logic. And I like that on my channel. I want a congregation of understanding, talking and chatting in the comments about these things so that we can reach a better understanding. With that understanding, I'd like to end this entire ranting comment video of mine by thanking anyone that's made it to this portion of the video. I really appreciate that. There's not enough people willing to listen without talking, and here I am talking. But when I'm not uploading a video, I'm listening. I may upload one of these every 3-4 months. In between, I'm listening, I'm not talking. So I'm not doing that much talking. I'm gathering my information first, I'm getting my facts straight first. Even though I don't pull up things before I start a video because I don't know where my brain's going to go with it. I'm trying to let it come straight from my heart, straight from my mind, straight out so that it's not something that's been completely protected by a lawyer or any of that bullcrap. It's just me being me, speaking from the heart with what logic I have. And then you're free to agree or convince me that I'm wrong with a decent conversation. I don't want to hear that you're wrong and you're stupid and your grandmother's a whore and nobody loved me, and because no one ever loved me before, I have to start behind everyone else and I don't get a fair start in life. Well, I'm expecting to hear people with actual comments of you're wrong and here's why. And that's why I do this on my channel. And I appreciate the common sense inputs that I get at times. There's one or two people that their comments are unnecessary and abnormal, and I will remove them. But for the most part, even if you're putting me down, I'll let it stay up. Go ahead. Tell me I have blue eyes. Tell me my skin looks almost orange. Tell me that my natural blonde hair in the up position looks ridiculous. That's fine. That's all fine. But am I wrong? And why? Just something worth discussing. Hopefully, a treat for all of the audience that goes to the comments section and those that just like to read the comment section. Hope y'all have a great day. I have to go to bed because I have work in the morning. Why do I have work in the morning? Because I'm a contributing member of society. Woo! And I am a maintenance mechanic. I have to take these off as soon as I get up in the morning and get to work. Yes, I do. I know. I'm thinking about uploading some footage of me a few years ago as a operator operating some heavy equipment, and really just think I need to do that so people can actually believe that I've done some of the work that I've done. Because when I shave like this, I look so young, but I am a week from 30. Shit. I am old. Anyhow, y'all have a great day. I'll try not to spam anything else tonight. It's late enough. Have a great day. Stay safe out there. And that'll be it.